So Arsenal won, Brentford won, 2 points dropped, 5 points dropped in the last 2 games, 3 games without a victory in all competitions. Manchester City up next, Jez. Today, I think that point was a smash and grab, really, because the first half, Brentford absolutely dominated. All the clear-cut chances fell to them. The only real decent opportunity we had, we scored. And again, a load of poor performers again. What did you make of that today?
Another shit show, Lee. At the end of the day, Arsenal sussed. They've been sussed, mate. Arteta has one game plan. As I put in your chat this afternoon, he's predictable so much. Same substitutions. The only difference he made when he changed Vieira for Xhaka. But did it make a difference? No. He doesn't have... everybody knows how he's going to set that team up. And all right, we got away with it early. We kicked on so early last season. It was great. We loved it. But now everybody knows Arsenal. And this guy just does not seem to me to have the ability to have a plan B, C, and D. It is just the same old, rinse and repeat. Yeah, oh, right, okay, we'll take Martinelli off and bring on Trossard. And fair play to the fella. That was a good substitution. And he took that goal very well.
It was only good because he scored. If he didn't score, it wouldn't have been good, would it?
Exactly. You know, and there were some very, very poor performances today again from those Arsenal players, which we will highlight in the player ratings in a while. But Arteta, mate, I don't care what anybody says, his inexperience in the Premier League as a manager is being shown. Because if you are going to win this Premier League, you cannot go 2 games on the bounce and lose 5 points. You don't win leagues like that. You might nick a draw, might nick another draw, like we should have done against Everton. But not 5 points out of 6. That's just not good enough.
And the teams that we've played as well, like, you know, people say, oh, it don't matter, we're still top, we're 6 points clear, played the same games as City and all that. Yeah, that's great. That's fantastic. But City ain't been really clicking into gear all season. And they're only 6 points behind us. Jez, we should genuinely be about 13 points clear. Every time we have an opportunity to go and put 8 points or 8 points, 9 points, we always bottle it. Right. And as soon as there is a bit of pressure on us, we do crack. Yeah, people can laugh at Tottenham and say, oh, they're bottle jobs. As soon as the pressure's on, they bottle it. Well, so do we. Last season, we were fourth with 3 to go and bottled it. You know, we've got into a Europa League semi-final, against our former manager, bottled it. You know, we're throwing away cup games left, right, and centre for the league, and we've put in 2 performances like that in the league. Yeah, Newcastle, Southampton games as well. I mean, these are teams, like, no disrespect to Newcastle, because they're on the resurgence and they're playing very well, right? But Newcastle showed everyone how to play against Arsenal, you know, and now Everton have done it and got a win. And then today, Brentford should have got a win, and we got out with a draw. Now we're going to play Man City. Well, we lost to them when they were doing similar up at the Etihad the other week, so they didn't come out free-flowing against us, which was credit to us. But at the same time, Pep's a smart manager. You know, he could have quite easily said, right, this is Arsenal. We're going to beat them anyway. We're better than them. Let's go toe-to-toe. Yeah, but he didn't. And that confused this manager, because it was almost like they didn't want to come out their half. We didn't want to come out our half. We cancelled each other out. But then they had one chance, bang, goal. Yeah, and they'll probably do the same on Wednesday, because they're not going to give us loads of space. If you do, you get ripped apart. Yeah, and it'll be an end-to-end free-flowing 4-4 game or a 3-2 game or something if they do that. But it's not in their hands. And this is the difference between an elite manager and a rookie manager. The rookie manager just has the one game plan, doesn't know what he's doing other than that, right? The elite manager knows his team is the best in the league, but can adapt to each game. Yeah, and yes, they've got a better squad and all of that, cool. But at the same time, they have been crap all season, and they're only 6 points behind us. If they beat us twice, they're above us on goal difference. Yeah, and it's not going to be them 2 games that decide the league title. It's going to be games like Newcastle, Everton, Brentford. They're the games that are going to decide it. And the way I see Pep in his press conference yesterday talking about the FIFA, UEFA, the sanctions and all of that, he looks like he's up for a fight. He's like, I ain't going nowhere. I'm going nowhere. Yeah, and then he listed all the teams that were trying to get him out the Champions League. Yeah, he looks on it, man. And listen, Jez, I'm very disappointed. In fact, I'm angry, yeah, with the last 2 games, because I expect this, not so much the Everton game, cool, yeah, but I expected a response today, and we were worse. We were worse. We created probably one clear-cut opportunity, and that was the goal. Other than that, the passes were off all over the place. Zinchenko was crap. Thomas Partey was crap. Martinelli was crap. Saka tried, but again, it weren't the normal Saka. One bit of quality, bang, we score. That's it. We got to fix this, mate, because we got Aston Villa after Man City. Well, we know what Unai Emery's going to do.
The thing is, Lee, I think what Arsenal should be doing right now, I think Edu should be on the phone to Thierry Henry, who's not going to go back to the Belgium national squad, apparently, and get him in to actually teach some of these players how to take a shot. I'm sorry, some of our midfielders are bloody useless. Putting it up in a row ZZ from 25 yards. I mean, that is appalling. And the other thing that makes me laugh, time in, time out. Why the hell are we putting high ball crosses into our attackers who are about 5'8", 5'10", and they're up against bloody great lumps of 6'4", 6'5" defenders? You ain't ever going to out jump them and out head them. Ain't ever going to happen. I mean, that we saw that against Everton. We've seen it again today. I'm sorry, that is not a good gameplay. Arteta and his team have got to find a way around that. You know, Eddie Nketiah, he's not tall. Saka is not tall. Martinelli is not tall. Even when we got Jesus, he's not tall.
Trossard, there's another one.
You know, I'm not going to criticise him too much today because he took that goal very well. It's a very difficult ball. It bounced in front of him and he slotted it. Fair play to him. But you can't keep doing that against these big defenders. We can only do that sort of thing from a corner or a free kick when our tall defenders, Saliba, Gabriel, can get up there and maybe have a chance. I mean, one of the best shots today came from Gabriel.
Yeah, it did. And another one from Zinchenko as well, where it just arced wide. Yeah, and that's where we're at. And the problem we have, you're right about our shooting. Like, who's training these players? Everything's going row Z. Like, I see other midfielders of other teams, like Ruben Neves. That guy scores screamers every week. Well, not every week, but he gets his shots on target. Ward-Prowse gets his shots on target, scores free kick bangers every couple of weeks. You know, I see so many other midfielders. Bruno Fernandes at Man United. Yeah, like, he gets his shots on target. Thomas Partey, like Casemiro's another one. Casemiro scores goals. Yeah, and it's
Maddison today scored a banging goal against Spurs. You know, I notice every single time that when we have Partey, Odegaard on occasions, and Xhaka, dare I say, I was never a great footballer. I don't pronounce that I ever was. But I was always told that when you're going to take a power shot, you get your body weight over that ball. You're not leaning
put your knee over the ball. Laces, bosh.
Laces through it.
Yeah.
And no, these people are like leaning back. So you're not playing at bloody Twickenham, as you said earlier.
Yeah.
You know? It's the fact of the matter is technique. And I just really think some of our midfielders got very, very poor technique at taking powerful shots at goal from distance.
It makes you wonder what they've been doing all week as well, because we knew that Thomas Frank was going to come and sit back. We knew he was going to park the bus. Yeah, and then he's got 2 strikers up front that are big, strong guys that are very quick, very raw, yeah, but very good. Yeah, and they're very good with their feet. I mean, Saliba today, I don't think won a header. Ivan Toney won everything against him today. And listen, Ivan Toney's a good player, but you know, we got out of jail today, man. Really did, because they had that sitter they missed in the first couple of minutes. They had a goal disallowed, and I don't think that was a free kick in a million years. Gabriel slipped. Then they hit the bar. Then they had another chance from a corner that hit Xhaka in the face. They could have been 3 or 4 and out of sight at half time. You know? And then luckily we got the goal. But after that, it was almost like, well, why don't we park the bus now? Why are we trying to go and get a second goal? Why don't we shut up shop? Yeah, and say you have all the possession and now we defend it. And that is where I think an experienced manager, like an elite manager, and it's not a dig necessarily at Arteta because he is still learning, but that's not the point. This is Arsenal. Yeah, and yeah, we're still top of the league. Yeah, it's a point gained if you look at it that way because we should have lost, but it's 2 points dropped. It's 2 points dropped, mate, because if Man City go on a winning run, we're finished. Yeah, and we know they can do it. They've done it 5 years in the spin. So, I don't know, man. But listen, we'll do player ratings in a minute. And, yeah, that shouldn't take long. We're out of here, people. Edu out.
And Arteta at the moment.
Yeah.